Good morning, everyone. This is Equineqt, and this morning I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a really simple and easy dessert. I'd also like to give a shout out to one of my subscribers that I've been talking to a lot recently with, and that is Rar Just James. He's a very nice person. Been talking to him a lot lately, and he asked that I would give him a mention, so I just decided to dedicate this video to him. And also to those of you who are chocolate lovers out there, because this is the dessert for those chocolate lovers. So, video dedication to Rar Just James, as I promised him I would. And for everybody else, I hope you guys enjoy this dessert. It's really simple and really easy to make. It doesn't take a whole lot. You need a couple of things. A mixing bowl. You're going to need a package of instant pudding. Doesn't matter what type you use. I like the Jell-O brand. Use chocolate for this. So chocolate instant pudding. You'll need a small tub of Cool Whip, just a little one. This should be perfect. You don't need anything more than this. You'll also need a pre-made pie crust. I'm going to be using the chocolate Oreo pie crust. You can use a plain vanilla or the white pie crust if you'd like. I just prefer the chocolate one because it goes with the theme of the Jell-O and the candy that you'll be inputting in the recipe. Just be careful when you buy the pre-made pie crust, they're really fragile. Oops, sorry. You'll also need some sort of a chocolate candy. In the recipe that I follow, it requires Reese's, the little peanut butter chocolate candies. But you don't have to use Reese's. You can really use whatever you want. You could use Snickers or Hershey Pieces and just chop them up and put them in the mix. So you don't have to use peanut butter. I know some people, like James, for instance, doesn't like peanut butter, so if he wanted to make this, he could just omit the Reese's. You don't even have to use any candy in this. You can just make it with the chocolate and the Cool Whip, but I think the candy adds a little bit more of a favorite touch. The other thing you're going to need is about 1.5 cups of milk. It doesn't matter what kind of milk you're using. You can use whole milk, skim milk, fat-free milk. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to start now. I'm going to start by combining the Jell-O mix. This dessert doesn't take very long to prep. It's really simple. Doesn't take very long to set either, so and I'll tell you all about that at the end. So we're pouring in our instant pudding mix. You don't even have to use vanilla pudding, or chocolate pudding. You could use vanilla pudding if you want to, and just put it in the chocolate pie crust with the chocolate that you want. You could use any kind of pudding mix. I'm just using chocolate because the people I'm making this for are chocolate lovers. So there's my bag instant pudding. I'm going to pour the 1.5 cups of milk next. And 1 cup. A little more. That's good. If you have a little over 1.5 cups or a little under, it's not a big deal. Just kind of want to get it as close to 1.5 cups as you can. Slowly incorporate it with your pudding mix. like I said, it doesn't matter if you use fat-free milk or whole milk. I have not tried this with a milk substitute, so I don't know how that'll work. But I'm sure that you could use almond or soy milk. If you're lactose intolerant, you can use almond or soy milk. So I'm going to stir it, but I'll wait. I'm going to go ahead and mix the Cool Whip in right now. Just that way, when I get the spatula mixer dirty, that it's all one. So you're going to use the whole tub. It'll just plop in there. Just like this. Okay. Go ahead and slowly start to incorporate it. Try not to make a mess. If you have one of those big mixing bowls, that will come in really handy with this, because then you don't have to mix it all in a tiny little bowl. You can use your mixer and it'll incorporate it really well for you. But if you're like me and you don't have one, that's like the one thing I don't have in my kitchen is a mixer. The one I want's a couple $100, so actually they're all a couple $100. They're all really expensive. I have a handheld mixer. I don't like to use it on this kind of stuff because it flings it everywhere and the bowl's not that big. So as you're mixing this, you're going to get this mousse-like consistency to it. Make sure you scrape the edges of your bowl. Make sure you get all the mix in there. There's some on the bottom I missed. Let's see here. That's about it. Just trying to check the bottom of the bowl. Okay. So when it's all mixed, it's going to be like a mousse consistency or like a melted ice cream consistency. I'll show you right now. It's going to look like this, like a mousse or like a melted ice cream. Should be fluffy and light. Okay. Now I'm going to put this to the side. If it's going to be a while before you fill that into your pie crust, you can refrigerate it. I'm going to put some of my miniatures in there. I did not unwrap them prior to this, so please excuse me while I unwrap these. As a couple of you know, I was, those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, I went to the office supply store in the next city over a couple of days ago, and I found a webcam. It's a little mountable one that you put on the top of your computer. I found one, and it's not too expensive. I also found another microphone that's just that type that you hook onto the side of your ear. It's not the big and bulky one like the one I have right now. I'm thinking of making an investment and getting a new camera, as well as a new microphone that doesn't pick up the air explosives when I breathe. Because a lot of you mentioned the breath explosions, and I'm really sorry about that. Just using this mic unfortunately makes it very hard for me to inhale and exhale because it's so sensitive. I also started back to school yesterday, and I'm in for a rough quarter. That's all I can say. Those, you know how you have those classes that make you question how smart you really think you are? Yeah, doing that. It's going to be a difficult class. Just a couple more. Sometimes you can find the Reese's, if you're using Reese's, you can find them already chopped up and stuff, like for baking. You want to try and use a soft chocolate. I don't really recommend like chocolate chips or anything. Sorry for my arm here. Just wipe my fingers off. So you want to use a soft chocolate because you're putting this into the pie and your guests are going to bite down on it. So once you have unwrapped your amount of Reese's that you, or your candy that you want, give them a rough chop. Doesn't have to look pretty. Okay, now you want to incorporate these into your whipped, into your mousse. Okay, so we'll just combine them, spread them around, mix them up a little bit. So now they're in there. Okay. Move my cutting board for a second. Gently unfold your pie crust. Like I said, you have to be careful with these because if you're not, they'll crack really easily. Okay. So you have this beautiful little pie crust. Take your filling and just put it right inside. I'm going to spread it around on the bottom a little bit. Just so I get a good base. And put the rest of it in. Okay, now push it down a little bit. It can still look, it needs to still look fluffy and kind of lumpy. Just going around right now making it look a little more even. Push that up a little bit. Got it all over my fingers. Okay, so it should semi look like this when you're done. Now, what you can do, if you'd like, I'm just wiping my hand off really quick here. Grab the bag of Reese's again. I'm only going to, you don't have to do this. You could put, here you have a few different options. You could put the Reese's whole like this, just to sprinkle them on. Or you could just chop up a couple more and sprinkle them on top, which is what I'm going to do for this video. I used a 12-ounce bag of Reese's. You don't have to use that many. You can use less or none at all if you don't want to. Chop up these ones. Sorry for the loud sound of my knife on the cutting board. Okay. them on the top of your little mousse pie. Okay, I think it looks pretty good. Now, there are two ways that you can store this until you're ready to serve it. You could, if you're going to serve it really quickly, go ahead and put it in the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes. Let it chill. The mousse will firm up and you can just cut it. It's going to be a little while until you're going to serve it. Just put it in the refrigerator, let the Cool Whip firm up. And if you're going to serve it right away, go ahead and you can do that too. Or you can just, like I said, put it in the freezer for however long you want to. Let the Cool Whip get a little frozen, and then when you eat it, it softens up like ice cream. It's really good. So, it's a really quick, handy little dessert for last-minute parties or a last-minute recipe if you need to bring something to a party, or just something quick to throw together for your family. Whatever you like. Usually takes about 10 minutes. Took a little longer because I didn't have anything prepared and I was showing you guys how to do it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and James, I know you don't like peanut butter, but I hope you also enjoyed the video. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon.